welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Laurel. I am a queer disabled YA author, and today I am here with my BOOX Palma 2 review. First and foremost, before I hop into the review, I am just going to insert some footage of me unboxing this. Sorry, there are always cats making noise in the background. If you follow me in socials, you may have already seen this footage as a reel or a TikTok, but I am going to insert it here, and then we will hop into the review. I am here with an unboxing in my library. It's related. I probably shouldn't wave this knife around. I have both the YouTubes and ticky-tacky sized filming happening at once, so hopefully I can get through this. Okay, let's open this. This came from American Amazon, so it took a few days to get here, which I'm not used to. Gosh, aren't we so privileged that things come to our house the next day, typically? Do you know what this is? If you're on Book Talk or BookTube, you probably do. It's the new BOOX Palma 2 that just came out like, I don't know, maybe a month or so ago. I have wanted the BOOX Palma since I saw, I think it was Alyssa Nicole, like Reads with Alyssa, Reading with Alyssa. I don't remember what her channel name is. She has so many. I think it was her video that I saw first, like probably almost a year ago, and I wanted it so badly, but it's so expensive. But the other day I saw that they'd released the 2 and decided it was time. So here it is. I am unboxing it for you. I got the white version, obviously. You probably remember that I have a white Kobo as well, which I will be selling because I know that I'm just going to use this as my daily driver. So satisfying. So if you haven't heard of this and don't know what it is, this is a e-ink e-reader, technically. It's phone sized, obviously, but it runs on Android, so you can install any apps on here that you want. Obviously the screen is black and white, but you can technically run anything that Android runs on here. So I have a lot of issues with migraines, and I am addicted to my phone. So I'm hoping that this will help with both of those things and get me to pick up this more often and read more as opposed to scrolling TikTok and Instagram. So that's the plan. That's why I got it. I just wanted to unbox it really quick, and I will film decorating it and getting it set up. Very exciting. Are you ready for my review of the BOOX Palma 2? First and foremost, in my unboxing footage, I mentioned that I was really hoping that this was going to not cure, but improve my A, phone addiction, and B, just reading more in general. I really wanted to pick up this device instead of my phone. And I'm going to tell you, honestly, it hasn't done either one of those things, but not for the reason you might think. So to continue that train of thought, I'm going to start with the cons to get them out of the way, and then I will hop into all the pros of this device. So the very first con, obviously, is the price point. This is not priced like a phone, but if you are ordering this from Canada and have to pay shipping and exchange rate and maybe even duties depending on how it's being shipped to you, this thing is like probably close to the same price as like the very entry-level cell phone that you can get. This thing is expensive. It was pretty much twice the price of my Kobo Libra Color that I just got a few months ago. So double the price. So for a lot of people, that takes this e-reader out of the running to begin with, because that's a lot of money. The next con, as a Canadian specifically, is that you cannot get accessories for this device. The case that I have on it, which is, you're not gonna be able to see, I don't think, on the camera. It's the same design as all the cases on Amazon, except it's clear with sparkles. It's the only one I could find that wasn't just straight clear. And the sparkles gave it like a fun little shimmer, which I liked. But there is not a single BOOX Palma 2 case on Amazon, at least right now, December 13th, as I'm filming this. So because they added a fingerprint sensor to the power button on the BOOX Palma 2, this button is covered in all the cases for the original BOOX Palma, because there was not a fingerprint scanner. So because there's no BOOX Palma 2 cases, at least available in Canada, I had to cut this buttonhole out with an X-Acto knife and then try and file it down with a nail file to try and smooth out the edges. And it still doesn't work. I cannot use my fingerprint because I think the case is so thick and the button is so depressed into the case, like it doesn't read well. I know that's hard for you to see, but like it just doesn't work. I am gonna try cutting the hole a little bit bigger. I've done it multiple times now. So I'm gonna try cutting it a bit bigger and see if that helps, but it does not work. Along with the case problem, it was also next to impossible for me to get a screen protector. I ordered screen protectors when I ordered the BOOX Palma 2, and that was like almost a month ago, probably. And my first order got lost somewhere along the delivery trail, and they didn't cancel it for like 2 weeks. And then I finally ordered another brand on Amazon, and it took like over a week to come, because again, it was coming from the States and our mail is wild right now in Canada. Yeah, so it took me almost a month to get screen protectors for this. So that's leading into my very first point, that it hasn't cured or even improved my phone addiction or increased the amount that I'm reading on the go. Because I didn't have a screen protector for it, I didn't feel comfortable tossing it in my purse, shoving it in the back pocket of my jeans. You know, I was really worried about the screen getting scratched. We're all used to like iPhone, Gorilla Glass, whatever this is called these days, where it really doesn't scratch, even though everyone uses screen protectors anyway. But e-reader screens are not the same quality. And I know that if I had tossed this in my bag, for sure it would have got scratched and I would have been devastated. So I am very hopeful that now that I have my screen protector, just came yesterday, I'm hopeful that now I'll be more comfortable to just toss it in a pocket, toss it in my bag, whatever the case may be, and take it and actually use it. So, while it hasn't done any of the things I was hoping it would do, I want to add a yet to that sentence. It also has just kind of been a wild time in my life the last few weeks, and I haven't been doing much reading in general. So I am very hopeful as we get into the holidays and move into the new year and cozy season, I'm going to be able to sit and use this a lot more. The other couple of cons are obviously battery life. I mean, we all knew from the BOOX Palma 1, the original, that the battery life is not great. This is an Android device. It's not an e-reader. So you can't compare the battery life to a Kindle, to a Kobo. It is more comparable to a phone. I would say if you have the Wi-Fi off and the Bluetooth off, the standby time on this is fantastic. It'll last forever, just sitting on your nightstand or whatever. Actually using it for anything other than just reading, it dies really, really quickly. and just using it for reading, it's sort of in between. Like, again, still not as good as a Kobo or a Kindle because the battery is running an entire Android system, even if you're just reading on it. So battery life, not great. And with all of these cons in mind, it also is not a phone. You can't put a SIM in it. You can't update the Android system when new versions of Android come out. Like, it is not a fully functioning, fully capable Android device. So that is something you really need to weigh the pros and cons on for yourself. If you want this to replace your phone, it's not going to do that. If you're trying to use messaging apps, YouTube, games, anything like that, the battery on this dies way too quickly for that to be effective at all. And you cannot replace your phone with this. Can you replace your e-reader with it? 100%. But if you're going camping in the woods for 2 weeks, is this gonna last you your whole camping trip? Definitely not. So there are definitely a lot of things you need to weigh out with the BOOX Palma. That being said, there are a ton of pros, and I do really love the device. So let's get into those. Obviously, the number one pro with this device is its portability. It'll fit in the back pocket of your jeans. It'll fit in your belt bag that you wear across your chest, tiny purses. It fits in all the places that your phone would fit. 10 out of 10 for that feature. The other main benefit for readers especially is that you can read from any app on this device. So I have my Kobo app, I have my Kindle app, which I don't really use as a Canadian. I have the Libby app for my library. I have the Cloud Library app for my other library. You can even read audiobooks on here because you can pair Bluetooth headphones. So I've got Audible on here that I can listen to my audiobooks. You can do all the reading you want to do on here. I know there's people that have apps for like manga and graphic novels and all the things. So you can do all the reading on here, which is so amazing, especially as a Canadian, because we have access to library books and all of those things on our e-readers. So going from a Kobo to a device that wouldn't have been able to do that would be a no-go for me, because most of the ebooks I read and most of the audiobooks I read are from the library. So a Kindle is not ever going to be an option for me. BOOX Palma 2 does all the things. Something else that is cool if you, like me, are trying to break your phone addiction is that if you have an Apple Watch with cellular, you can actually leave your phone at home or in the car or wherever and just take this with you. You don't need to carry both, because I have texting and calls and all the things I need right on my wrist. So if you're an Apple Watch user, or I guess like a Samsung, whatever those watches are called, if you have a smartwatch that has cellular, you can just not carry your phone and just carry this. Something else that is great about this, I always put a pop socket on all my handheld devices just because that's more comfortable for me. But I do also have disabilities that affect my wrists, my fingers, I mean my whole body, but my wrists and my fingers do come into play there. And I know other people like Alyssa McColl have said this is so much easier for her to use with her disabled hand because it's so small and it's so light. So if you have any issues with your small joints, your wrists, your hands, anything like that, this is super ideal. The other fun thing about this is that you can customize it because it's an Android device with wallpapers. So I have a wallpaper for my lock screen. I have a wallpaper for my home screen. I don't know if you can see that. It's like really faint little stars in the background. So that's fun. I did that on my Kobo as well. There's a way that you can like hack it, but then I started having issues with my Kobo. So I think that maybe is not a great idea. So being able to have fun wallpapers is ideal for me. And then finally, if you are able to break your phone addiction and read more, I think this will totally save your eyes So much of my headaches and migraines come from too much screen time. So if I can get myself into using this and out of the phone cycle, that's gonna make such a difference for my head. So always a plus when things are accessible. I didn't intend to bring you this review with any sort of like tech specs or anything like that. This was just me as a reader and how I feel about this. I will do an update at some point, as I said, because I haven't gotten as much use out of it as I would have hoped at this point. I wanted to compare my iPhone screen time before I had it and once I'd started using it to see if I was decreasing my phone use. I wanted to compare my reading time before I had it and after to see if I was increasing my reading. I recently joined the Beanstack app, which is a reading tracker that my library uses, and they put out challenges for us to do. And I joined like super late in the year, so not really in any sort of time to do any of the 2024 challenges, but I will be participating in the 2025 challenges. So I would imagine that after a little bit, I will be able to see and give you an update and tell you how much my reading has changed based on how much I'm logging in that app. So that is my reader-centric review of the BOOX Palma 2. Do I wish it had better battery? 1000%. Do I wish I could put a SIM card in here and just use this as my phone? 1000%. Is it worth buying for the average person? I don't know. I really don't know. As much as I want to say, yeah, like it goes in your pocket, it fits in your belt bag, you can take it anywhere, you can read any book from any app, from any library system. Is it worth it for the average person? Probably not. I didn't think I would be saying that. And maybe I will change my mind once I've been able to use this more extensively, once I've been able to take it out and about and read more in public. It's also freezing cold and snowy. It's been like freezing raining for a week. We finally have the sun today. So I haven't been going out much in general anyway, unless I'm like running a specific errand and coming home. So I haven't even had the opportunity to use this, even if it had screen protectors on it. So I am hopeful that very soon I will be able to give you an update. Most likely it'll be in a reading vlog, or I will put a clip up, like a short TikTok reel, what have you, with an update. And I'm hopeful that my opinion will change. Do I think this was worth it for me? Yes, because I never took my Kobo anywhere because it didn't fit in my belt bag. So even if I only read one time for 5 minutes on this while I'm waiting at an appointment, it's more than I would have read with my Kobo. So I think it's worth it for me. Also, as I said, because I have the Apple Watch, I can leave my phone in the car or at home and go places and do things. Like I could bring this to the playground with my kids once the weather's a little nicer and sit and read and not have this and my phone bogging me down. So I am hopeful. It was worth it for me. I hope to get a lot more use out of it, but I don't know that it's worth it for the average person. Either way, my opinion could change. I will update you with that when I can. And please let me know in the comments if you think the BOOX Palma 2 is for you. I figure they're probably gonna come out with a 3 with a better battery at some point. And I think I would probably try and upgrade depending on what the price is and how much I can sell this for. But again, obviously that's probably a year or 2 out from now, so we'll see. But if this had a way better battery, I think that would also really sway me into using it a lot more than I do. Okay, that's the update. That is the review, sort of. And I will catch you in the next one. Bye, friends.